The making of the Fantastic Four. First steps, bringing the Baxter Building to life. Imagine a world where the Fantastic Four aren't just superheroes, but a family living in a retro-futuristic dreamscape. That's the promise of the Fantastic Four. First steps. But how did the filmmakers actually build this incredible world? Production designer Kazra Farahani, the mastermind behind the film's stunning sets, reveals the secrets behind bringing the Baxter Building and Earth 828 to life. The Fantastic Four. First steps isn't just another Marvel movie. It's a portal to Earth 828, a dimension unlike anything we've seen before in the MCU. This isn't your typical gritty, modern superhero setting. Instead, director Matt Shakman and Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige envisioned a retro-futuristic, 1960s-inspired world, complete with space-age skyscrapers, and yes, even flying cars. This alternate New York is home to Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, Johnny Storm, Human Torch, and Ben Grimm, The Thing, all residing in the iconic Baxter Building. Feige, clearly impressed with Farahani's previous work on Loki, specifically sought him out for this project. "I loved the look of the TVA and the look of that series," Feige exclaimed, emphasizing the importance of Farahani's unique vision. "We thought that if we were lucky enough and he agreed to come be the production designer of this movie, he could just go wild." The positive audience response to the Baxter Building, the lab, the kitchen, and even the Fantastic Car and the team's ship speaks volumes about Farahani's success. But how do you create a believable retro-futuristic world? Farahani drew inspiration from a fascinating mix of sources. He studied the works of legendary architects like Eero Saarinen and Oscar Niemeyer, known for their sleek, modern designs. He also delved into sci-fi classics like 2001: A Space Odyssey for its visionary aesthetic. And this is the part most people miss. The influence of original Fantastic Four comic artist Jack Kirby was paramount, alongside futurist illustrators like John Berkey, Sid Mead, Charles Schrid, and Arthur Radabaugh. The goal was to fuse the sophisticated style of Saarinen and Niemeyer with the whimsical fantasy of Disney's Tomorrowland, resulting in a world filled with imaginative technology and even talking robots. A significant portion of the film unfolds within the Fantastic Four's penthouse atop the Baxter Building. Farahani and his team faced a unique challenge, creating a space that felt both like a sci-fi spectacle and a comfortable family home. "We wanted it to feel like a home," Farahani explained. "We wanted it to feel warm and like a place where our family lived, which is a little challenging because they're essentially in a Manhattan penthouse. And Manhattan penthouses are beautiful and striking, but not necessarily the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a cozy, warm home for a family. To achieve this, they reimagined the apartment as a cabin within a penthouse. Think warm-toned wooden paneling, a welcoming central fireplace, and a sunken conversation pit. The color palette also plays a crucial role. While the surrounding New York skyscrapers are dominated by silvery whites and blues, the interior of the Baxter Building is awash in gold, brass, and warm wood tones. To further enhance the home's inviting atmosphere, Farahani incorporated mid-century materials like flagstone rocks and indoor plants. "You're bringing all these natural elements inside to create this place that doesn't feel sterile or cold," he elaborated. Like any family, the Fantastic Four spend a considerable amount of time in their kitchen, a hub for cooking, socializing, and playful banter. Farahani drew inspiration from futuristic displays at the 1964 World's Fair and Frigidaire's iconic Kitchen of Tomorrow, designed by General Motors. The Fantastic Four's kitchen boasts nifty futuristic gadgets, such as a domed barbecue grill and a motorized cake platter. But here's where it gets controversial. Farahani also wanted the kitchen to feel relatable, grounding it in familiar elements that viewers could connect with. "We wanted to have some of that jet-age tech mixed in, but not so much that it made it too abstract or unrelatable," he explained. "The kitchen is the core of a home, and it's certainly the core for the Fantastic Four with their family dinners every week. For Ben, it's in some ways his domain. So it was really important to make it feel warm and relatable, not too futuristic." Some might argue that leaning too heavily on familiar elements could diminish the futuristic feel. But Saarisen's approach aims for a balance between the extraordinary and the everyday. Reed Richards' laboratory is another pivotal location within the Baxter Building. In contrast to the bright and airy living spaces, Reed's lab is more fortified, with thick walls and ceilings designed to withstand potential explosions. Reed has organized his lab into 3 distinct workstations, each identified by a different primary color. The red workstation, according to Saarinen, is where all the messy work happens, where Reed engages in hands-on experimentation with electronics and chemistry. The yellow area is a space for contemplation, featuring bookshelves, curved chalkboards, and seating for collaborative brainstorming sessions. Finally, the blue workstation serves as mission control, enabling Reed and the team to monitor global communications. One of Saarisen's personal favorite details is the Fantastic Four's rocket launch pad, which extends from the Baxter Building into the East River. We kind of went totally overboard in designing all the functionality of how you could launch a rocket in Midtown Manhattan without creating chaos, he admitted with a laugh. Saarinen and his team devised an intricate system that would undoubtedly impress Reed Richards himself. This system includes a rotating series of blast shields and a catchment system that draws water from the river to create massive vapor curtains, mitigating the flames and protecting the public during liftoff. As for the Excelsior rocket itself, Saarinen found inspiration in the original blueprints for the Apollo missions. However, he also infused the interior with a more refined, futuristic aesthetic, befitting Reed Richards' intellect. The expansive blue soffit that runs along the ceiling echoes Eero Saarinen's renowned TWA tunnel at John F. Kennedy International Airport. Reed has strategically placed workstations on every wall and ceiling, facilitating seamless work in zero gravity. It was important for us that the interior of the Excelsior feels sophisticated enough to be past the prototype stage, Saarinen explained. This is a smart guy, so that's why when you get in there, it's a little bit more finished, and there's a bit more of an architectural feel. The end result is a vibrant, lived-in world that truly feels, well, fantastic. It's about optimism, and it's a utopia, Saarinen concluded. It was a nice break from a lot of the dystopias that we do. Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four: First Steps is now playing in theaters. So what do you think? Does this retro-futuristic vision of the Fantastic Four resonate with you? Do you agree with the design choices, or would you have preferred a more traditional approach? Share your thoughts in the comments below.